So we're here with Coltyn Turner, who has just spoken at the United Patients Group Medical Cannabis Conference this weekend. And you traveled here from Colorado to California to speak to our attendees. So thank you for being here. And I guess I should say that right off the bat, it's been a kind of a crazy last couple of days for you and your family, right? Your mom had a gallbladder issue and is in the hospital right now.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Luckily, my mom, she's doing better. We're still determining what we're gonna do next at this point.
Okay. Great.
She's been doing a lot better. We may be able to leave.
Right.
We may be able to leave tomorrow.
Right.
We may have to stay a couple more days.
Right.
It's just waiting and figuring out what we're gonna do.
Well, it's amazing to me. First of all, so you are how old?
16.
Okay, and you said something earlier, so you were born on leap year, is that right?
Yeah.
So you're really, how old?
4 years old.
You're amazingly articulate and grown up, and you look nice in a tie for a 4-year-old, so that's good. So you are a Crohn's patient, and how long have you been dealing with Crohn's?
Well, I've been kind of dealing with it my whole life, but my initial diagnosis was when I was 11.
Okay, and so that's it's a time in anybody's life, especially a young boy's life, where you're active, you want to run around, you want to be out with your friends and do things with your family. How did that impact or change your life back at 11 years old?
Oh, it impacted my life completely. I couldn't do anything really. I couldn't. At one point, I couldn't stand for longer than a minute. I was the 3 different places that I would be during the day would be on the couch, in the bathroom, or on my bed.
Wow, that's really it's devastating, and it's hard to hear that. Actually, and your family was living in Illinois at the time, is that right?
Yes.
So, what kind of experience were you having on the medication that you were taking when you were first diagnosed with Crohn's? What was that like for you?
Well, the very first medication basically didn't do anything at all. It was like taking a Tylenol every day.
Okay.
Or any kind of painkiller. Mm-hmm. It really didn't help my Crohn's pains. It didn't help me grow. Didn't stop the bathroom visits. Didn't regain energy, and I still didn't have a very good appetite.
Okay. And so, how did your family or you, or the combination of both of those groups, how did you discover medical cannabis?
Well, it was mainly just my mom and dad researching. One day, my dad said, "Hey, we're gonna try medical cannabis." My only question is, what are the side effects?
Right.
He basically said that, well, it may not work. I said, all right, let's go. But I want to wait until after my birthday.
Right.
Which was the last birthday I've had in Illinois, which has been 2 years.
So we've heard the term medical refugees before, which is when patients and their families can't get access to cannabis legally in the state that they live, so therefore they have to move or choose to move to another state where it is legal. Is that what your family did?
Yep, that's exactly what we did. On March 4th, me and my dad, we left our entire family, including my mom, brother, sisters, and we just went up to Colorado. We didn't know what we were going to do. All we'd had was some money and a suitcase full of clothes. We didn't know where we were going to go, what we were going to do, or how we were even going to get the cannabis.
That makes me emotional. How did that impact you?
Well, when we first started treating it, I felt better. I was starting to feel better. I had a little more energy. The pains weren't exactly gone, but they were reduced. This was just mainly because when we first came out here, we were mainly getting our medicine from recreational dispensaries.
Okay.
And we would basically make them into little pot brownies. My dad would try one, see how it affected him, cut it in quarters, and then he'd give it to me.
And you were about 13 at the time, 14 years old at the time?
I was just turning 14.
You were just turning 14. And so obviously, because you'd been living with this pain, the discomfort, the interruption to your life in general, was this did you feel, how quickly did you feel like this was helping you?
It only took a couple of days to actually see the effects.
Wow.
That it was that was taking place.
Amazing.
I believe a couple of days or a couple of weeks after I started taking it, we went to the Continental Divide in the mountains, and me and my dad, we wanted to see all the mountains from this amazing view. By the way, if you ever go, I encourage
I
you
haven't
to
been
go
there yet. I'd love to see
It's
it.
beautiful. Well, it was snow. There was snow everywhere. So as he's starting to walk away, I'm lagging behind. So my dad is thinking, oh, he's still a little tired. He's just lagging behind. All of a sudden, he gets hit in the back of the head with a snowball, and I start running away. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I had been wheelchair bound.
Oh my gosh. You're kidding. That's remarkable. That sounds like a modern day miracle to me.
It really was.
It really, really was. And so after you and your father were sort of exploring this, going out on your own, you had to leave your family, your friends, the life that you had back in Illinois, the uncertainty even of how much to dose, how often to give it to you, what strain I would imagine even to give it to you. Have things changed now? Are you finding that there is a lot more relevant and reliable information out there for other patients that are following in your footsteps?
Yeah, I think that there's a whole lot of information out there. It's just a matter of finding it out yourself. Me personally, I'm pro-choice. I don't think that I should force cannabis legalization on people, but I don't think that they should hate on cannabis either. I think that they should do their own research and figure out their own opinion on it.
Right.
Because a lot of people, including my dad, they had the DARE program and programs they shoved down their throat, so they don't know anything else. They really don't have their own opinion on it.
We've talked a lot this weekend about the stigma around cannabis in general, and one of the programs that you're talking about, DARE, and the whole Your Brain on Drugs campaign that really sort of took hold in the 1980s when your father and mother were much younger and all of that. It has had a long-lasting negative effect on people in general and their perception of what cannabis is, or known much more widely as a recreational and illegal drug. Obviously, you're a young man who had a very debilitating illness, and this has helped you. And look at you, here you are, you're speaking at conferences and all that. So it sounds like you will continue to put the message out there that this has worked for you. This has been your savior, basically.
Absolutely. I think that people should see for themselves the benefits of medical cannabis. And it's not even called marijuana, it's called medical cannabis.
Right.
So that's one step. Stop calling it marijuana, it's cannabis.
Right, I know that's a thing for me too. I mean, I have a very difficult time in calling it by more of a recreational or a street name, because it has so many amazing benefits, that from everything like you're mentioning to cancer to Crohn's and a lot of different modalities in between there. So I agree with you. That's really great. So I understand that you were awarded the 2015 Cannabis Activist Award.
Advocate.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
advocate.
2015 Cannabis Advocate of the Year. How was that? That's amazing.
It was amazing, considering that one of the other people that were nominated was Melissa Etheridge, an IBer.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
A really like a Grammy-winning rock star.
Yeah.
And then there's Coltyn, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, there were a whole ton of other people that were nominated, and they are just amazing.
Wow.
But I am very grateful that I was even nominated in the first place.
Well, and not only nominated, but you were selected. That's really remarkable. And it sounds like you've been sort of given a responsibility to make sure that, the voice and your words are heard out there more. So we understand that you have a pretty active, is it a website that you have, or a Facebook page?
Facebook, Twitter. We have an online website, coltonscrew.org.
Okay.
Go on Facebook, Colton's Crew, Twitter, same thing.
Awesome.
But just a fair warning, it's not crew as in CREU. It's like Motley Crue, CRUE.
Got it. Okay. And who was the Motley Crue fan in your world? That is it you or
My mom.
Okay, so your mom's a secret rocker. That's maybe not so secret after all. So that's good. That's good. Coltyn, we are so happy to see how healthy you are and how articulate and obviously passionate you are about medicinal cannabis. Thank you so much for being here at United Patients Group, and we wish you the best health for the rest of your life.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure just to be here.
Great, great. Thank you so much.
No problem.